Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Planet Coaster. Today's episode number 10. My name is Ubear and I'm going to be telling you about my awful week. No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you how many dramatic moments I've had. As you can see, things are a little different than normal in the fact that this video is a time lapse. We haven't done one of those before, and I'm telling you it will be probably the last one we do because they've given me an absolute headache, but it's not on purpose. Because you see, I didn't realise that when I recorded this episode, the next episode, and the next episode, so 3 episodes in total, I didn't realise that the microphone wouldn't record. So all I have is for nearly 2 hours of footage. Well, it's actually close to 3 hours of footage, which makes me want to boil my brains alive. So I apologise that there hasn't been an episode for like a week, but unfortunately I've had no microphone, and then I was trying to work out how I'm going to do this, and I don't have any video editing software, and I've just generally had an absolute shocker. I'm still having a shocker. I'm having to record this in such a backwards way. I've got no idea if it's going to work, so I'm going to apologise straight away for the audio quality. I'm going to apologise for the visual quality. I'm just going to apologise for the whole situation, because all I want to do is get this video out so you guys can see the work that I've done on the park, and we can move on to our next episode, which is obviously going to have... It's going to be back in real time because I'm not faffing around with this. This isn't on purpose. So you've got effectively nearly 3 hours of footage that's been sped into just shy of just over 20 minutes. So there's a lot going on. So I'm not going to narrate everything. I'm mainly just going to have a chat today because you can clearly see what's going on. We're kind of putting our station, the station together at the moment for our Alpine Adventure ride. I kind of wanted to go with a similar feeling to what I'd done with the other buildings, but not quite the same. Not quite as deep, because once you put a balcony in, it kind of makes things quite deep. Hey, I know I spoke. It's kind of difficult to make these buildings all look unique with minimal theming. For those of you that have been watching the series so far, you'll realise that I'm trying not to go OTT on theming, because we're following the natural organic progression of a theme park that has come from nothing, that's becoming something. So as the episodes go on, you'll see the theming get more and more in depth, I pay more attention to detail. Ooh, this is an exciting bit that I'll show you. I was having a real shocker with these little knobbly bits because I couldn't make it work. I didn't understand why it wasn't shifting along the right axis, and then I changed it to the world axis, and then I changed it back to the relative ones, and it still wanted to have a hissy fit. So the knobbly bits unfortunately had to bite the dust, which I'm kind of a little bit gutted about, because I do kind of want them as a feature on that wall, but it might have to be that I come up with some other way of dealing with that, because I couldn't quite deal with it there and then. Now, the reason why there were no episodes for a little while was not just because there was chaos, because there was obviously a week's gap before then, but it was half term. And for those of you that don't know, I run my own business, buying and selling used Lego. I do Lego entertainment, birthday parties, building sessions, you name it. And through half term, we had a special event running where kids could come down and build with all the Lego that we have. Like, we have so much Lego, like, it's ridiculous. Like, they had like 40 kilos to play with. Like, these kids are like raiding through bins, like, yeah. So it certainly made things exciting. And I'm not sure, but I think I'm not sure what's going on. The time lapse might have gone out of sync by now. I'm not really sure. It says that I'm up to 4 minutes 30 of recording, but I'm already way into 5 minutes of the video. So if this is all out of set, I'm really sorry. I'm just genuinely going to apologise and generally apologise for the whole state of this video. I'm glad that even though it's number 10, I'm hoping that we'll just kind of forget about it and we can move along. So rather than kind of describe, I definitely don't think I can describe what's going on in the video. So I'm just going to, have a little bit of friendly banter with you, get to know the you-bear, haha, the you-bear, the you-bear, you know, just crazy stuff like that, because apparently I'm a nutter, but if you know me on a personal level, then you know that already. I am an absolute nutter. But yeah, so anyway, back to the thing. So we also have an online shop on a website called Bricklink. We have like 45,000 pieces listed there, individual pieces, and I got a large order. The Saturday's half term started, and it meant that I would normally spend my week picking the orders and processing through my teeth aren't in today. Processing them through the daytime, but with the kids being there, they have the Lego in my processing space, and that means that I can't process stuff. So basically what I was doing is I was running my shop and my play sessions through the day, and then in the evenings I was staying till 10:30, 11, 11:30, most evenings, well, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, trying to put these orders together. But obviously after a day of having screaming kids and lots of excitement going on, you're not quite as efficient as you would be normally, so that's kind of why there were no videos. I was just absolutely exhausted, and I wasn't getting home and having my dinner till midnight, and then I was back up to do it all again the next day. So I apologise that there haven't been any videos for a little while. I know there's only a handful of you at the moment that are watching this series, but you know, I still like to connect with you. I still like to do it, you know, and if you guys procrastinate for half an hour, have a chillax, you know, just sit and listen to me watching me build my theme park, then, you know, I've done my job, I guess, and you never know, maybe one day more people might watch it. Who knows? But I'm happy with the way things are right now. I just getting to build my theme park whilst you guys chillax too. So we're kind of I can't even describe to you what's going on, because I don't know if what's going on is what's true. On my visual, I'm just about finishing the car ride station and the queue line. That's kind of all done now, and we're moving forwards into the next section where that was in theory the end of episode 1. So episode 2, the sub part for today, is building the theming for the car ride. So I'm hoping that what you're seeing is kind of what I'm talking about right now. I don't know how good this software is. It was free. Who knows? If there's a watermark as well, I hope there's not, but you know, some software wanted to put watermarks and have adverts halfway through the recording. I'm like, that's not very good. So I kind of trying to build a rocky outcrop rather than have all the roads running on bridges. I kind of wanted to have a feeling that it was sat on top of a mountainous road on big boulders, rather than terraforming, because I feel you can get much better angles with the rocks just in a than moving the ground. I do need to work on sculpting the ground. I just like to press the roughen button, but you know, who doesn't like a bit of rough? So that's kind of what I'm going for here, just creating a fairly standard little relaxed ride through the forest rather than going wild. And I thought about building dark ride sections and undercover bits, but the reality is it's still a small theme park. They wouldn't be having all out huge theming all over their rides because they wouldn't be able to afford it. Like, I look at local parks next to me and they still can't afford it after being open for 40 years, so there's no hope for them. At least there's hope for our park though, because it's moving up in the world. This ride has subsequently become the most popular ride in the whole park. Like, the second I opened it, people went absolutely wild for it. They're like, yes, we need this car ride in our lives. But as you'll notice, I'm just kind of putting a tree line. I put a tree line in to break up the visuals from the guests. I didn't want them to look out onto a green field and just see nothing but empty greenness, because that's not what happens in a theme park. If there's empty land, it's normally closed off, fenced off, or disguised in some way, so you're not aware that the space is there. And again, I wanted the same thing. I didn't want to have that kind of break from reality that I find when you see green space. That's what I really like about Alton Towers. I really like the fact that you can be in one area and you can't really see the rest of the park. You have to go exploring. Not everything is revealed to you the second you walk through the park entrance, which is kind of a bit of a shame about Thought Park, that the whole park is visible from the car park, let alone the main entrance. So we're just doing a bit of painting on the ground, just kind of keeping an eye out and making it look swanky. Again, if this isn't what you're seeing on your screen, I'm so sorry. I'm not clever with editing stuff. I just want to make some videos and have fun times. I don't want all this fancy time-lapsing and trying to match time-lapses with audio recording and that kind of thing. I just want to play Planet Coaster and share it with you guys. So yeah, things will go back to normal after this episode. I'm hoping that the quality of my microphone hasn't decreased too much either. I just can't believe that my other one broke. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm holding it in my hand now and I can see nothing that makes me think it's broken. Like, the wire's not floppy, the connection's not broken. It's just really frustrating. So I went and bought a gaming, in inverted commas, headset that was fairly cheap and cheerful. It had good reviews, but I'm not sure how good the audio is going to be until it's all done. I kind of did some tests and it sounded okay, but it wasn't quite as crystal as the other one, and there seemed to be a lot of background noise going on, so I might have to have a fiddle with that. So apologies again if you can hear cars going by or dogs barking or the wind blowing. It is really windy here today. Like, it's absolutely blowing a gale. Like, we can't put our recycling bins out because they're going to end up down the street, and that's never a good thing. So if you're seeing what I'm seeing right now, then you'll be able to see that we've just put in a brand new ride. So there were 2 episodes of no new rides, just theming. So I really wanted to try and bang a ride in there. It's actually the new ride, the Pathos ride. And this area that you can see being constructed is going to be... Sorry, I've just completely distracted from the ride. But this is going to be our new themed area. I'm not sure what theme it's going to be yet. I'm still playing around with ideas in my head. But we'll get there. I wanted to kind of barrier it up though, so it did look like it was a coming soon area. You couldn't see into it, but guests would get excited. I know that obviously they don't care because that's not how the game mechanics work. But you know, we're telling a real story, or at least I'm trying to tell a real story. If I was really being pernickety, I'd move construction equipment in and have that going too. But I don't think that's necessary in a video. Perhaps back in the old days of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, where you would... You know, you'd post pictures on a forum of under construction and construction walls and stuff like that. But with video stuff now, and with streaming and YouTube and stuff like that, I just don't think it's that necessary, because that would be great. As you can see, the car ride is absolutely mentally busy. Absolutely mentally busy. So the idea behind this ride that I hope you're seeing right now, and if not, it's about to come onto shot, or it will have just come on shot. Oh my goodness me, that's a yawn. Where did that come from? You can tell I'm busy and stressed. But yeah, I wanted to have the whole idea of like a logging company, and that was kind of the basic theme. This building, the structure is probably a little excessive for the level of theming I'm wanting right now in the park, but it added a nice little backdrop to the ride, and it made a cool visual for the guests that were actually on the ride, gave them something to look at instead of just trees and rocks. So the idea is that it's a saw blade. It's called Buzzsaw, and this building here is the Buzzsaw Logging Company. So the queue line idea is that these guests are kind of the ride is the log slicing the log slicing device, the Buzzsaw basically. And this is just the workshop space, the warehouse space to harbour all of the materials. So I kind of wanted to give it that warehouse feeling, but also keep it in the mountain kind of style, the alpine style. Give it more of an industrial feeling, whereas the rest of the place is more of a residential kind of thing. This is more of an industrial space. You've got working and logging, because we're real men, we're lumberjacks. So yeah, I just kind of fiddled around with some of the windows to get that effect that I wanted. I didn't want it to be a plain warehouse building. I still wanted it to have some detail, so almost give it more of a barn feeling than a warehouse, but still that it has that kind of thing going on. There's a couple of signs in there too, but in the next episode I'm going to look at giving you a bit of a tour of what we did in Slowed Down, so you can it's probably a little bit hard to follow what's going on, or it might not be, and you might be preferring to watch time lapses rather than what's happening in real time. I would actually quite like to mix the two, but I just don't think I'm technically minded enough. Unless somebody wants to volunteer to edit all my footage, then I'd rather give you the raw and cut stuff that's natural, that's normally got me spieling about absolute rubbish, and having lots of musical sing-alongs. In fact, we haven't had any musical interludes today. Just hasn't come. Normally it's got to come naturally, but I think it's because I'm concentrating too much and watching the screen as well, rather than just relaxing and playing. The dialogue is not quite as chilled out, which I'm sorry for. So I'll try and bring it down a notch, make it chill. There we go. Put a cup of tea on. I'll put the tea on to make a cup of tea. Who knows? I'm sorry if I'm just mumbling. This is actually the third time that I've tried to record some audio for this video. Well, fourth if you count the time that I buggered up with the microphone. I'm so gutted because it was really good. Like, I was in such a good mood. I was like, yay, let's build some rides. Let's build some theming. And now I'm like, because I just want to get this recorded, get it up, so you guys can catch up with what's going on, and then I can release the next episode where hopefully things will work. Because if they don't, I'm just going to cry, and that's going to be the end of it. No, it's not going to be the end of it. I'm looking at playing some more games. I'm really tempted to get City Skylines 2 at the minute. City Skylines looks really cool. I haven't played it yet, but I'm not sure if I'm a little bit far gone to kind of be relevant, because watching me play is going to be quite slow going, because I'm going to have to learn the game as I go along. Oh my god, I love that band thing too. If that just popped on the screen for you, it's amazing. It reminds me of Shrek. Do like kiss. Yeah, because I like simulation games. I mean, I know I've not picked up another Brick in the Wall for a little while, but I will do. I just felt like the game wasn't going anywhere. Like, I'd reached the ceiling for what I could do. I was just duplicating things and making different spaces. But I'll maybe get back into that shortly. But in the meantime, I'm just having too much fun with this park. I love it. It's great. It's really coming together. And it's becoming something different, you know. It's becoming something different, and that's kind of what I'm interested in. Is making it unique, making it different. Hopefully, you know, just trying to get you guys on board with it as well. Like, if ever you want to give feedback, yeah, just let me know in the comments. Oh, I don't think that looks great, or I don't like the way that is, or have you thought about doing this theme? Yeah, just go for it, guys. I'm totally open to feedback. It's just you gotta remember big coasters, B&M's, hypers, they're not coming yet. They will come. Definitely. B&M's my favourite manufacturer. They're gonna come. It's just not quite the time for that kind of thing yet. For those of you that aren't really aware of the values of coasters and that kind of thing, like, B&M coasters they only really go into expensive, you know, they're expensive, so they go into bigger parks. I guess you're wondering why Disney don't use them, but that's because they have a good partnership with Vekoma, and Vekoma kind of do what they need. But yeah, B&M coasters, they're renowned for going into parks that are bigger because of the expense of them. You know, you're looking at double the price compared to what a Gerstlauer of the same size would be. But that's because you're paying for quality, and B&M is quality. And I'm just bigging B&M right up, and probably sound like an absolute tool, because some of you probably don't even know what B&M is. It's not a blooming giant store where you pick up cans of Coke for 50p. It's a roller coaster manufacturer. There's lots of them out there. Well, actually, there's not that many, because there doesn't need to be. But yeah, you know what I mean. Peaches and cream. So I just did a little tweaking here with some of the park stuff. If you've got that kind of menu board option up at the moment, just kind of analysing what guests want, where they want to go, what they're unhappy about, and just seeing kind of how the trends are. And I was obviously chatting about that, but you can't hear that because it didn't record and it's lost forever. Lost forever. But we do end up getting the queue line finished for the ride. the Pathos Ride Buzzsaw. I think it's just about done, and we're going to move on to now working on the reverse station, getting that finished, getting that sorted, getting it all themed up, making it look super duper pretty, because it needs to look super duper pretty, or at least it needs to have some kind of theme put over it, because obviously we were going to go for a carnival theme and then decided against it, so it's probably it looks way better now than it did before. There's a lot more thought that's gone into it, and also just it fits in with the area and actually finishes this section off quite nicely. There's going to be one more episode on this area before we wrap this area up for good and move on to our new themed area. Again, I'm not sure what it's going to be, but hopefully it'll look swell. And everybody will love it. If you've got any ideas and comments for what you'd like to see in the new area, then let me know. But yeah, the next episode we're just going to be finishing the details of the Alpine area, and just making sure that it really all fits in, because we've done a lot with the other stuff. You know, we've really kind of made it feel like a complete unit, and then it may be that we come back and expand it and change the whole of the area. You know, the rides will need replacing, new rides we're putting in. This is the thing, theme parks are always changing, they're always developing and mixing things up. But I'm actually going to leave it here for dialogue, and I'm just going to let the rest play out. I'm sorry that it's in silence, but I'm just not clever enough to work music in this thing. If you have enjoyed yourself, I don't know how, because I've just been mumbling for the last 20 minutes. This isn't what my videos are normally like. But yeah, if you have enjoyed yourself, please do like, comment and subscribe, and you'll be able to see how the park actually looks. And I cannot wait to see you on the next episode, which, fingers crossed, touch wood and all of that jazz, will be in real time, where we'll be working back on the park, our final episode in our Alpine Adventureland Bear Pass. And yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching, and I will see you again. Alright guys, have a fabulous day. Bye!